I've gone to Spain a few times, and I have a friend there whose grandparents are like Franco supporters.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
like miss
yeah.
the days of Franco. I feel
that's
like
a lot more
Southern Europe
common
has a lot of
there.
that old, like the remembering the good old days. With
I know if
strong
you go
leaders.
to, I lived in Spain, and if you go to Toledo, which was like a real like conservative, it's like a small city, the ancient capital south of Madrid, and it's like they have like the military museum there, and it's very conservative,
Right.
and kind of nostalgic for fascism. And I remember walking by a store, they just have like figurines of Hitler and Mussolini and like shit like that. Just, I'm like, holy shit, you know, it's like right there. I'm not even kidding. And it was like the cat. They made a lot of swords there, so they have tons of sword stores.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I worked
think
with a guy.
because yeah,
I worked with a guy who was from Romania, and they're big fans of Vlad the Impaler. Like they're just sort of like, yeah, he was just sort of like a local hero. Like
he was kind of like, yeah, he was like kind of a badass. He fought the Turks and shit. He was like a Christian like king fighting against the invasive Turks or whatever. He also fucking impaled people on spikes, but I could see how, you know, if he's defending you, then yeah, he's the man. Like,
and it's funny because like as like the horror movie guy, like whenever I hear about the Carpathian Mountains, like ooh, like that's the haunted spot, and he's like, yo, dude, like when I was a kid, like we used to hang out in the Carpathian Mountains, like that was just, like, it was just like it was like this really nice like rustic area and this and that.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's fascinating how us and sort of like our quote unquote enlightened era, we can be like, oh, like they were dictators, they were fascists, blah blah blah. But like for the locals, it's like they were local heroes, like they fought off people who are trying to invade us. So it's kind of interesting when you look at that from that perspective.
Yeah. I think in Spain and Portugal, who had their own version, his name was Salazar, I forgot his first name. But I think there, because they weren't in World War II, it's like not as bad. Like it's still not good to a lot of people, but it wasn't as bad because they weren't like part of the Axis.
Yep.
Even though they were very friendly. So they kind of get like, they kind of can get away with more. I feel like that. That's just no.
Or maybe Mussolini's getting a raw deal.
So wait, this is like a really pro Mussolini podcast. I'd love to explore that sometime.
No, it's not. But I like to trick Brother Nate by saying a quote, and he's like, "Yeah."
I remember
like,
my dad. My dad's very pro Italy for like everything, and when I remember learning as a kid. I remember learning like, wait, we fought the Italians, Dad? Like, what the hell? He's like, no, don't worry. We just like the Italians just cooked for the Germans. Like they didn't actually
just
fight.
cooked for them.
Yeah, it's like don't worry. Like they didn't really fight. They just cooked.